computer infrastructure for the physicists that we have working at CERN is called the Worldwide Large Hadron Collider Computing Grid, which is a computing infrastructure spread across almost 200 organizations. And our 15,000 physicists use that computing infrastructure to process their data and run their scientific experiments.
Right, so at the moment I'm involved in Helmholtz Data Federation, which is a new project that's trying to establish itself as a general data federation for Germany. Essentially, it's a research infrastructure trying to deal with the deluge of data now currently happening in the Helmholtz Federation predominantly, but it strives to be open for other researchers as well. Well, I'm part of a team that is trying to establish the AAI solution, so Authentication and Authorisation infrastructure for this, so both on the technical side, but we early on realized that the policy side is also quite important and essentially maybe even more important than the technical implementation.
So I'm one of the many people within WLCG, so the Worldwide Large Hadron Collider Computing Grid, who participate in drafting the policies that apply to the entire computing infrastructure. So this infrastructure, as I mentioned, is spread across the world. So we have people from all different corners of the world, different institutes, different organizations who come together to make sure that the policy documents that we're working on are applicable for everybody at the end. In order to provide a computing infrastructure for thousands of researchers around the world that's able to deal with petabytes of information, there are, of course, huge technical challenges. But more often than not, it's the trust and governance issues that prove more complicated, and that's where policy comes in. If we have hundreds of organizations working together, we need to make sure that each of them is conforming to a baseline of operational security and that they're respecting the privacy rights of their users and that everybody is doing this in a consistent way.
Whenever we're dealing with users, we need to be sure that the trust level is proper, and the only way to do that is to establish clear rules. The easiest and most straightforward way to establish these rules is by having written documents that delineate all these rules, and that's essentially what policies are. So it has three big parts, and that's data protection, and membership management, and operational security.